Hi, my name's Natalie. I am an AP World student and I just took the national exam a week ago. And upon my reflections and thoughts, I'm here to make this video as kind of an encouragement video and tips to surviving the course. Maybe you're in a state right now where you're like, why did I take this class? I feel like I'm so overwhelmed. Every single person who takes this class recognizes that there are points where you're going to feel like you're in a slump and where you feel like the worst person in the world because you're like seriously questioning why you took this class. But the point is recognizing that you were called to this class for a reason from God and that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So I'm making this video to sum up kind of 3 tips that I've accumulated on how to survive AP World History. The first tip is that you really gotta stay engaged in class. And what I really mean by that is obviously it's hard, no matter like what position you're in, you know, you're listening to Mr. Wally lecture all the time and you kind of get those moments where you're like, what's going on? Like, I don't really understand, like, what are the Mongols? What are they doing? I don't really like get this whole thing. And obviously there are going to be moments where you like everything's sharp with you and you're going to get everything. And I think the biggest way to do this is to take really active notes. My recommendation, if you ask anybody what to do, you want to mark up those note packets as much as possible. Use fun highlighters and pens, colors, underline key terms, highlight key terms, because those are like that's how you retain the information. Another thing is that you really want to focus on writing things that Mr. Wally says down, like in the margins. And I think something helpful that I did was after like each slide, I would kind of like write at the margins at the side, like kind of sum up what happened on that slide in my own words. And that kind of helped me retain everything. Like Mr. Wally doesn't care if you know like what day the Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated. Like he really doesn't care. All he cares about is that you have a grasp understanding and the summary of everything so that you are able to connect different ideas together. The second tip that I think was really hard for me was noticing that and kind of accepting the fact that you are not going to necessarily always get an A in the class. That's something that I had to come to terms with. Like, okay, I have a B in the class, whatever. Like, it's definitely better than failing. Your grade in the class will never ever define you. And I think the thing that I had to come to terms with was like, I'm taking a college level class. Like literally, like you are like one of the 30% of kids in your grade who are taking this tough class. You know, the rest are in regular world history and you're doing something awesome. The fact that you show up to class every day and you know you get in and you're working so hard, you're listening, you're trying to grasp concepts, the fact that you show up every day is so much better than earning an A. Like, and I can't even express this enough. You might not even realize that until you finish the class, and that's exactly what happened to me. Once you come to terms with that, you kind of get this realization that like the class was not about getting a good grade. The class was really just about the journey and how far you've come. The grade is not the whole point of the class. My third tip, this is probably my favorite tip and probably the one that I really want you to focus on because I had to do this. You have to take time for yourself. You have to put your mental health first in order to be able to succeed in the class. When you get stressed about school, you do not put your mental health first and you get extremely overwhelmed. Like I said, like in the beginning, there are days where you are frustrated because you are so overwhelmed with content. I think back to the days where I would get home from like a tennis match and I would be like, oh, I still have to like do these 10 pages of reading for the reading quiz tomorrow. Like, can't I just drop the quiz or something? I was so mad because I had so much to do and the reading notes are definitely not something that takes you like 10 minutes. They definitely take a few hours. Maybe you like are like, okay, what do you mean by putting your mental health first? I mean, knowing when to stop. Kind of set myself a limit. Like, I am not doing anything past 10 p.m. because my sleep is more important. When you sleep, you perform better the next day, especially if you have an exam. Getting sleep is definitely more important than staying up for another 2 hours or until midnight or even pulling an all-nighter. Other factors of putting your mental health first, you know, like take those de-stressing moments, take a bath, do a face mask, take a nap, just putting yourself first, putting yourself before the grade, before the exam. You are the most important thing about this class. So my hope is that you get something out of this video and that maybe you think, okay, yeah, maybe I should, consider this or consider that. This class is not easy. It's difficult. There are times, like probably, I think for me, it was in like October when I was just like in such a slump. I was like, oh, this is hard. But I hope that these tips will help you survive. You will make it to May 12th someday. You will make it to the national exam and you are going to crush it. I hope these tips helped. Take something into consideration. Thanks for watching.